We are the Stop Wearing My Clothes podcast. I'm Kayla.
I'm Amy.
One podcast,
two sisters.
This is episode number 69, and we'll be recapping Vanderpump Rules Reunion Part 2. First thing that pops in your head right now, go, of your favorite part of the reunion.
That didn't work. Just Raquel's reaction to everything disturbs me to my core. But I actually think that there has to be something wrong with her.
I think something's going on, and that might be the reveal.
Yeah, because she doesn't have.
It's so hard though to talk about someone we're not professionals. I don't know if we should even put this in there, but I totally agree.
All I'm just saying is she's off her rocker a little bit, and maybe she is. I'm off my rocker a little bit, so I think I do have the right to say.
That's true.
We're all for mental health. We're all for people that are crazy getting some help.
Yes. No, facts. I think specifically the part where Sheena hands, Andy Cohen hands Sheena the charges being dropped document, and how emotional Sheena got, because not only because of the legal stress, but her being betrayed by her two best friends, and all just piling on, and to see how that's affected her. I did see some lights turn on with Raquel watching that, but at the same time I saw someone else being no, she's just making jokes, oh, I should have written her a note. But I guess I thought of it as oh, wow, I really hurt. I think that was literally, we saw her think for the first time of that she might have hurt Sheena's feelings.
Yeah, I think she doesn't realize that this is a larger impact than just Ariana. It's bigger than just you being a part of someone cheating. It's this whole, it's way bigger, and she just doesn't seem to get it. And I see both sides, because I also think she might be like me too, where you kind of smile at the wrong times, where it's it's so awkward, or it's so emotional that you just almost smile or laugh to kind of cover it up. And I could see her being that type of person. Not that I'm trying to defend her in any ways, but I could see that.
And I thought it was interesting too, because the first time we've seen I keep calling her Adrian. No, I used to work with someone named Adrian, so it's top of my head. Ariana. This is the first time we saw Ariana get emotional too. Part 1, it's just been anger so far. We see in part 3, she does get a little bit more emotional, but just almost not first. I mean, I guess it's partly for herself, listening to Sheena talk about how she's betrayed by these two people she loves, which Ariana samesies, but also wow, this hasn't even hurt me. This is hurting my best friend, and it makes her sad too, And I think we really got, you kind of said she's not realizing the impact. I think we got a firsthand look in that conversation that Tom Sandoval and Raquel have in the trailer of just how he's been feeding things to her that are not accurate. So that's why I think she's in this, I'm not going to say she's off the hook, because it's both their faults, but I think it is mostly Tom Sandoval's fault, and she's way younger than the rest of the cast. I think that's something we need to think about. And it really seems like Raquel is shocked by some of this information that's happening at the reunion, because she's only been in the little bubble with Tom Sandoval and whatever he says. So I just think she doesn't have a real sense of what's happening, because she was completely manipulated and lied to by a person she loves.
Yeah, and I think that the second that Raquel started maybe expressing wow, I didn't really know that, then Tom Sandoval is I need to talk to her off camera. And it's dude, you know what you signed up for. Take a chill pill. You don't need to treat these people like trash.
You like my garnish?
Ooh, yeah.
If you're watching on pickle? YouTube. No, it's a cucumber.
Oh, well, same difference.
True.
I don't know if I told you this. Jared just found out that pickles are cucumbers. He literally thought there was pickle trees out there in the world.
It took me a moment, to be honest. I've just never been in the pickle world. I love cucumbers though. And it adds a lot. It's very refreshing to a drink. I just muddle some cucumber in there, and it's mwah.
There we go. What did you think about Allie being on the reunion?
I thought she killed it. I think she stayed true to her relationship. We found out because I thought they bought the house together, that James
Mhm.
and Allie. We found out James bought the house solo and Allie's going to live with him.
Mhm.
And I think she killed it. It was interesting to see her like hindsight. She stood up for her and James's relationship more, which fair, but you don't
Mhm.
fully know what you're getting into. But at the same time, I did see something. This is not Allie's first reality show.
Oh.
She was on a show called like The Valley or something that like was
Hmm.
very short lived.
Mhm.
But something to think about because we think of her as like a spring chicken who hasn't been in the reality TV world, but it isn't her first rodeo.
Well, and she also went into this relationship with James watching Vanderpump Rules. So I'm not saying she's not there for the right reasons in the relationship, but at the same time, she definitely did know what she was signing up for more
Yeah,
than maybe I thought originally.
I have to agree. But I thought she was amazing. I love all
Mhm.
the girls being so kind to her.
And her dress.
Yeah, for sure. And it's
Obsessed.
actually really kind of cute how I feel like they're all kind of motherly to her because like even like Lala gave like Allie permission to say something bad about her. She didn't want to like Andy asked Allie like, did you think Lala overstepped or whatever? And Allie looked kind of nervous and looked over at Lala. She's like, oh, it's okay. You can say whatever you feel. Like, I don't know. It was just cute.
Yeah.
Lala is just like, I think also just seeing her as such a good mother. We see this aggressive side a lot on
Hmm.
Vanderpump Rules, but I think she has the sweetest, most mothering, like tender heart, and she's a ride or
100%.
die for her friends. And I'd rather have that than a flip flopper.
Oh, yeah. I think that I haven't watched it very long, but literally from the second I watched it, Lala, something about her, I've always thought that because yeah, she is aggressive, but most of the time when people are like that, I'm like, eh. But with her, have never felt that way. It's almost like I do think that the majority, I've never seen her all when she was all drunk and stuff like that, though. But the majority of what I see now is more defending the people she loves, or defending herself, or defending her child, or whatever that looks like. And I actually, so was talking about her relationship with Randall, right?
Hmm.
She was talking about her relationship with Randall and how like this summer has been really hard for or this past summer has been really hard for her, and just kind of like feeling, I think she said the word stupid, or like
Yeah, I think
did
she
she use that
did.
word?
I think she just felt
Yeah.
stupid, embarrassed, and
Yeah, all those
like,
things. Well, I saw her on a podcast, and I think that this is interesting. So with Ariana, everybody is just like Ariana stands, like just supporting her wholeheartedly. And Lala was saying like she felt like when everything came out with Randall, instead of people like coming to support her, it was people asking her, how did you not know? How did you not
mm,
see this? How did you not this and this and that? And she's like, why is Ariana not getting asked those questions? Obviously, she loves Ariana and she's not trying
yeah,
to,
yeah.
but even like Lisa Vanderpump had come to Lala and was like, why did you not, how did you not notice the red flags? How did you not notice this? And it's interesting for two like main characters of Vanderpump Rules, like why one is being fully supported and the other one's kind of almost got tossed to the wolves in respect of
Yeah,
like
no,
defense.
fair. Fair. And I think I actually saw something else. I believe Morgan P. talks, sorry, second episode in a row where I talk about her. But I work with her. She's amazing. And she's why I even like part of the reason we have this podcast is what she's been doing it for a while. But she had a really interesting law. She was actually not, she's not as a law stan as we were. And so I like seeing it kind of from the opposite side. And she went, if you watched the season, the first 3 episodes before Scandoval's even known, the storyline was really getting into Lala opens up a bunch throughout season 10. And she thought it was going to be a little bit more of her story of her own her Randall scandal, as
Yeah.
the Hulu doc said.
Uh-huh.
And I think they were saying how she's maybe a little bitter that she didn't get her story told. It was overshadowed by Scandoval and what happened. And
Hmm.
that she might feel like a certain way about that. And that's why she's being so outspoken to kind of get her section of Scandoval. Because Ariana has said many times Lala and Katie were not in the inner circle, but they're like going so hard. You know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
think maybe like I think that's just an interesting devil's advocate kind of
Hmm.
like opinion.
Oh yeah, I see that. I see that for sure.
Did you see Katie make sure Schwartz fixes his hair?
No.
And
I
I just
didn't
thought,
pay
like, it
attention.
has to be I'm sure after she was like, "Oh, fuck, why'd I even do that?" But I was like, it
Yeah.
has to be, like, just a tick. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm your wife, your mother, like, fix your hair. And yeah,
Yeah.
she's just, "Put your hands through your hair. Put your hands through your hair." And I was like, "Oh my god." But then Schwartz didn't have, like, a big part of this, but I just one thing I do
Mhm.
wanna say, I'm so over I think he did this in part 1, and he just continues to do it his whole life of just like making jokes at like really serious moments and trying to make things funny when like they aren't. Like the
Mhm.
whole Xanax thing, I didn't think it was funny. I think he was trying to be the whole like he
Mhm.
made a joke when they were talking about him and Katie's stuff like on part 1, and it's just like not the time or place.
Yeah.
I
I
wasn't
just don't
into
care
it.
to hear him. Period.
No,
Like he's just a placement in the seats. Like don't talk. Nothing you say is
actually.
true or factual in any sense.
What did you think of Raquel's sit down with Andy? It shows
What?
even more that she's in her own little world where she thought her and Ariana would be fine.
Yeah, I don't get that whatsoever. I do think that she is maybe, like you said, just like kind of almost now finally beginning to understand the
Process
impact
maybe.
of like what really she just did. Like it's
She
not
had no
something
clue.
small. Yeah.
And can I say also, we talked about the unknown information in our last recap,
Hmm.
and she said specifically, like again, like she reiterated when it started at girls' night. So I don't
Hmm.
know if we could still figure out if it's happened later or my new theory is at least we know for sure Lisa Vanderpump didn't know she tweeted about it, but
Hmm.
what if someone else in the cast knew? That's going to hurt people.
Hmm. Raquel saying in that interview, that's all me and Tom Sandoval have talked about is the reunion. Like definitely shows that like that interview doesn't hold any merit in my opinion. I feel
I
like
can see
all
that.
it is coached through of exactly what she's supposed to say.
Yeah.
So
No, I
her
can
saying
definitely
that
see
that's when it
that.
happened doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, I heard someone else. Oh my god, it's Morgan P. Talks again. I'm so sorry, but her opinions are so different than mine, so it makes me think in a different way.
Yeah.
But her prediction is that she only knew. She doesn't watch these. That would be embarrassing. Um, that Jack's coming back, which I already think is going to happen, but some people might not be excited that Jack's coming back and wouldn't want to sign on to another season potentially. So maybe I'm throwing that out there just in case that becomes true. But
That's
again, if you
interesting.
guys haven't watched our last recap, there's this unknown information we're going to find out in part 3 that would potentially affect the cast members to sign back on for season 11. So let's see what else happened. Katie was pretty quiet.
So the
Um,
big Sheena Raquel punch, slap, push,
yes.
whatever it is, that was a big part. And what did you think about what Sandoval was saying? And just like,
That and he calls Ariana a motherfucker, and I'm just glad that Lisa heard it. But just the fact that Lisa's surprised that he would say that, I think, just shows how blinded she is when it comes to the
mhm,
Toms, because that's like Exhibit A, like that's just an everyday occurrence, and and just still being so confrontational with Ariana. It's just like absolutely insane. And I
mhm,
love how she's yelling at him and like putting him in check. Like, oh, I want
mhm.
to be her when I grow up.
Yeah, 100%. I just think that if that is false, that Sheena said, like, I just punched her in the face or whatever, why did he even say it? Which is obvious that it's not true because I don't know.
Yeah, I did it.
That whole thing is messy.
If what is it? If the nails are long, they must quit. Or what was she? What was that thing?
She says she can't put her hand into a
Yeah, she
fist, but
can't put her hand into a fist. So they were comparing it to the O.J. Simpson trials. Like, if
oh,
it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
fit.
Yeah, but anyways,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it sucks too to see like how Sandoval, even if he says like, "Oh, I'm so sorry" and stuff like that to Sheena, because Sheena and Sandoval have been tight since day one, honestly.
Mhm,
And for him to still like choose Raquel over Sheena in that moment when there could be actual legal ramifications to Sheena,
mhm,
it just shows how they're just both Raquel and
He just shouldn't
Sandoval.
have said anything. He just shouldn't have said anything. There was not even any pressure really for him to say anything. He could have just said, "I don't know." I guess he was afraid that that would make Raquel mad. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't even know. But can we just also talk about that intro? Like he goes to the trailer during lunchtime to see Raquel. It's like, oh hi, how are you? You're like, you look good, and they hug a couple times. It's just like there's zero chemistry. I thought it was maybe just like that one scene we saw in the finale. I was like, okay, there's no chemistry. This is the second time we see them have a conversation in the same room. There
Mhm.
is no chemistry. Zero.
I don't want to defend this at all, but it also could just be a camera thing. They
Yeah.
got together off camera. They just don't even know how to act in front of a camera. Like, I don't know.
Well, I saw a thing actually, because you know how page six, like right when this was fresh, when the cameras were still up, it was like within a week of Sandoval breaking. And we were told that Raquel and Sandoval kiss on screen. We never saw that. And I saw one
Hmm.
person say, this is not fact, it's rumor, that they went back and redid that part of the scene and like pretended like, oh no, I don't want to kiss you, it feels weird for like image reasons. And that the kiss actually happened. They just got them not to air it.
Oh gosh.
I don't know. Like I said, that's just people talking. It's hard to know
Yeah,
what's real and what's not in this
totally.
scandoval of it all. I was glad that Sheena got to talk about the Brock rumors, and I just want everything in my body wants that to not be true. And she seems pretty. I mean, not that she has the best judgment because she was riding for Raquel and Sandoval
Yeah.
this whole time, but I'm hoping it felt like we dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I really just don't like that Sandoval just keeps bringing up, like, almost like he wants to validate this affair
Just
over and
stop.
over. And, like, that's all he wants to do. And it doesn't matter. Like, does he think that it's going to be like, ding, 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 in all of our heads and be like, oh, wow, Ariana and you weren't having sex. Therefore, you can have sex with her best friend. That makes perfect sense. Okay, we love you. Thumbs up. Like, you're dumb. We already know all these things. It doesn't matter if your relationship was the best it's ever been, worst it's ever been. Like, you're just trash, dude. Just quit talking. No one's on your side. The more you talk, the less we're on your side. So it's like he's got to get that through his head because this whole reunion, every time he tries to like make us pity him almost, I'm just like,
Not
you are
gonna work,
digging
bro.
yourself into a deeper hole. You're making me hate you more.
100%. And I am also really curious about the status of Raquel and Tom right now because we had the page six article. How many weeks? Like 3 weeks ago now, the day of the finale, saying that they broke up.
Mhm,
And then Tom's rep came back saying the source was not accurate. And then
mhm,
we heard from Ariana on Watch What Happens Live that letters are being sent, at least one that she saw. And more information came out on that, and there
mhm.
on the envelope there was lightning bolts all over it, like
Oh,
they're
Lord.
like their signal for each other that they love each other. And a couple days ago now, it was almost like it felt set up. That's what people like aren't fully. Sandoval on an airplane with his phone talking like speakerphone, and you could say Raquel Levy's on it, so people took a picture of him talking to Raquel on the phone. And
Mm.
Lala reposted it and gave her 2 cents and was like, yeah, he's just saving face with Raquel, trying to like make him look the best. And he's still like doing whatever he wants to do with anyone else and just kind of having Raquel there because it makes it to see that they're in love. And so it makes them look better.
Yeah, totally. Because like, that's really the only reason to keep that relationship or
Yeah,
whatever.
so big question mark there. Maybe that's what
Mhm,
we find out season on the part 3, if they're really together or not, or we're gonna find out more because like she's been tucked away in this like mental health facility. If we're gonna find out if she's like coming back, what if she's coming back to season 11? She said she doesn't know. Brock and Sheena went on a podcast saying she won't be on season 11 because her parents won't let her.
mhm. But that doesn't mean anything because she can do whatever she wants. She's an adult.
True.
They might not like it.
Yeah,
Um,
and speaking of Lala too, Lala watched with every she didn't hear the comment Sandoval made about her taking out her IUD as soon as Stassi got pregnant, and she went
mhm.
on Instagram this morning and ripped him a new one. saying you're in like the being conceived of my child, you're gonna blah blah blah, and like, oh, she went after him. I love how just like open Lala is on her social media.
Mm-hmm.
I
Trying to
feel
think if
like
anything else happened.
that's all she wrote.
All right. And next week is going to be the big one. They
Yes.
keep like, hey, oh, Raquel's coming. I'm like, oh, we're going to get a little bit of them all talking together. Nope.
I know.
Saving it all for the last.
I know. So what we're gonna try, I think we're gonna do the same thing as we did last week and this week. We're gonna have the recap, Vanderpump Rules recap out Friday, Ultimatum and reality TV news out Monday. We'll keep that going until the Bachelorette, and be sure to follow us on Instagram. We'll keep you up to date on as things happen in real time, when news breaks, Scandoval or other reality TV stuff. And it's at Stop Wearing My Clothes Pod on TikTok and Instagram, and at Stop Wearing My on Twitter.
Yeah, and if you guys hear of any rumors or you have anything fun to share with us, make sure to email us at stopwearingmyclothespodcast@gmail.com.
Let us know in the comments what you think, all things Scandoval, and